Jason Fulmore, SC Russell. Today I'm here with Jaxon Smith, former Georgia Hammer, current University of Maryland Hammer. How's it going, Jaxon?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm good. We're having this conversation because you've had one heck of a spring and summer after your first year in Maryland.
Sure.
So before we jump into that, what has it been like at Maryland?
I love Maryland. So I've been up here now for a little over a year, and I feel like I've made a huge jump just being like at the university and being around these coaches and my teammates. I love being up here. The atmosphere is great, and the institution is phenomenal. So
awesome. What are you studying?
Right now I'm still undecided technically, but I'll probably be doing something in business and then get a minor in real estate.
All right. Look out. Future realtor, business. Okay, I got you.
Okay.
All right. So I said really busy spring, summer, that sort of thing, because you are the U20 or the 92 kilogram representative for the Team USA for the Pan Am's coming up and for the World Championships of Bulgaria. Congratulations first.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. So I was watching you at the US Open and then at the World Team Trials, and you just dominated everyone. So talk me through kind of what that was like, and what that experience was going. What happened there.
Right. So last year I wrestled at World Team Trials at the weight class below, and I took fourth, which I was happy with that, but not satisfied. I had one more year of juniors left, so I was talking to my coaches, and I was just considering what weight class I was going to go this year, and we decided that 90 kilos was the best fit for me because I want to be a 97 pounder in college. So I'm a little undersized, but they were talking, and they believe that I could win any of the weight classes, right? At 86, 92 or the weight class above. And I believe in my coaches and anything that they say. So went to the US Open, had a pretty good run. And so I got to sit in the finals for the trials, and I ended up wrestling the same kid I wrestled in the finals at the US Open as I did in the US Open. And basically the same results happen as the US Open and the trials. So
yeah. So after a dominant run at the US Open, and you said, you did pretty good, that sort of thing. It was dominant. I mean, you outscored everybody 44-2 or something like that. How that you've got an opponent you've already wrestled coming to you sitting in the finals. How do you kind of keep that mental focus?
It's kind of weird wrestling the same kid, 3 times, especially in I guess the high stakes of a match that they were. But I was pretty confident in myself, and I really believe in myself. So I kind of just took that into the match. I knew he was going to make a pretty big adjustment from the first match in the US Open. So that first match was a little closer than it should have been, I think. And then the third match, I was just like, I got to get to my offense and just be myself and not be afraid to score points. And that's just what I did.
Awesome. So the European Championships for U20s are going on actually right now. And I don't know if you knew that. Is that something that you would pay attention to, or do you pay no attention, scouting out or who you might wrestle, that sort of thing?
No, I honestly, I don't. I never look at my brackets. I never have since I was younger. It's just a thing that I do, I guess. I just wrestle how I wrestle, and I just let it fly and see what happens.
Awesome. So you did mention the transition to Maryland, and one of the things that I remember watching you in the wrestle off with Jaxon Smith. I believe you wrestled Jaxon, right?
Yeah.
And thinking to myself, Jaxon's older. Jaxon's been there a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you lost a close match. He ended up being a NCAA qualifier again. How has it been in the room learning from guys who are 22, 23 years old, that sort of thing?
Right. It's actually I love having some older guys in the room. Like last year, I had Kyle Cochran that was mainly my drill partner, and Jaron as well. Having those older guys with experience, they teach you a lot, even if they're not directly telling you, but just wrestling around with older guys with experience like that, you pick up and you learn so much. Like their mental perspective about it, and just like how to wrestle. So it was very beneficial.
Yeah, so I was actually wanted to ask you that question. Was there anything that surprised you when you first entered the Maryland room? Like, oh wow, I really need to work on that, or I didn't realize this.
Well, like everybody tells you that the transition from high school to college is going to be difficult, but you don't really understand it until you're actually in that position.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically for me, I felt like bottom was completely different. Like getting off from bottom is so much harder than it is in high school. Everybody feels like they're good on top. And also just like in the ties, everybody's really strong in the ties, and everybody's good too. Like you're not gonna get an easy match. So that was definitely a big adjustment.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So you're growing into that 97 in college. So is it you're not are you eating, you're feeling good? Is how does that
Yeah.
like, I mean, you've always kind of just been a little bit bigger, like you've been
Right.
growing into weight classes. How awesome does that feel to not have to cut weight, not have to worry about any of that really?
Yeah, it's cool. I guess it comes with its pros and cons. I'm a little undersized, but I'm working on it. I'm getting bigger. I'm lifting extra, getting some more lifts in. I'm eating more. I mean, trying to get at least 4 meals in a day, plus like protein shakes and stuff like that. It's nice not having to worry about the scale. Like a lot of people
Mm-hmm.
have tough battles with the scale, and then that transitions to how they wrestle. I'm not really worrying about that, so that's nice. But hopefully I probably soon I'll be at that a little bit over 197. I'm walking around like at 197 right now, not
Right.
worrying about it. So I feel like I'll grow a little bit more, and then I'll be sitting pretty for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. So I'm going to ask you, and I know you're now away for Georgia and that sort of thing, but there's been a few changes at Woodland. Coach Trevatola's gone, and now the kind of core group that you guys were around have kind of moved on. And I'm just kind of a perspective from as an alum of kind of the program and kind of where it's going, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so we had a former Woodland wrestler is now the head coach. He was the middle school coach for a number of years, and now he's stepping up to be the head coach. We also have Higdon as the assistant coach, and he has a lot of experience under his belt as well. I think we have now it's going to be a young group of kids, and then a few older kids kind of still that were on the roster when we were there.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be a huge growing period for Woodland. But I'm not going to be surprised if we don't see them up climbing the charts within a few years for sure.
Yeah. Is that something that do you kind of peek a little bit to see how Woodland's doing against other teams, or no?
Yeah, no, I do. I mean, I have to. That's where I grew up, and that's the high school I went to. So I always find myself looking to see how they're doing against these other teams, and who's on the team, who's starting at what weight class, and all that stuff. So I do find myself looking at like the roster and how they're doing for sure.
Cool. So I think I saw on Twitter or Instagram or somewhere you were doing a camp here in Georgia just within the last month or something, or somewhere. And was that right? Did I get that right?
Yeah, I just went back to Level Up for a practice, and I ended up just talking to some of the kids and stuff. Yeah.
So what was the message to, like, especially like the newer kids? I mean, you were there once upon a time. You were one of the kids who were sitting there listening to a college athlete and now a world team member and so on and so forth. So what was the message to kind of that next group of kids coming up?
I mean, essentially, we had a pretty good talk. I talked to them about like I've had a bunch of injuries and stuff growing up. I've had 2 shoulder surgeries. I fractured my hip my senior year in high school. I've kind of been down, with the whole injuries and stuff. So I was just kind of talking them through about, overcoming adversity and that, and as well as, I guess the bigger message was just believing in yourself. I feel like that was probably my biggest obstacle, is just believing in myself and my capability. And I was essentially just saying, if you believe in yourself and you set your goals, then you can accomplish them if you just keep pushing forward and keep your head up. So
awesome. That's cool. That's that's a good message to, especially with somebody who's been there and has done that, and has kind of worked through those things. So my final series of questions, actually, let's bring it back to the world team and that sort of thing. So you qualify, and now what's been kind of the progression, the schedule, like how, not like day in, day out, how much are you working out, that sort of thing, but how have you been kind of prepping, getting ready to go to Mexico, and then prepping and getting ready to go to Bulgaria?
Right. So I just came back from the OTC. I was there for like a week, working with some of the coaches and stuff, and just basically just polishing up some stuff. And I'm continuing to do what I've been doing this whole time, just working hard and practicing and just polishing up some of my stuff, working on my attacks, and just, getting my workouts in, basically. That's all. Nothing different, nothing changed.
Did you pick up anything from any particular person at the OTC that you were like, I might use that a little bit?
I have my trap arm gut that I've been working on for like a while now. James Green and Zadok, they were going over it a little bit, and I was working with that a lot with them for one of the sessions, and I think that is definitely something that has helped me a lot from that camp specifically. So that was definitely something I picked up and kind of like polished up a little bit. But yeah.
Cool. Well, we will see you in Mexico in like, I don't know, 10 days or something like that. So not long, right?
Right. It's coming up.
And then you come back for a few weeks, and then you gear up to head to Bulgaria. So want to wish you the best of luck. We'll be watching. I think it's on Flow. We're always paying attention to how you're going to do next year and that sort of thing. Congratulations again, and thanks for jumping on with me.
Of course. Thank you.
All right, man. You take care. Bye.
Yeah.